Hey there and welcome. So, what if I told you that you have this professional superpower, a hidden strength that could totally unlock your next career move? And the thing is, you might not even know it's there. But today, we are absolutely going to uncover it. It all starts with a feeling I bet you've had before.
Yeah, that one. You ever look at a job description and just get that sinking feeling in your stomach? You start thinking, man, my experience just doesn't line up perfectly. Well, you are definitely not alone. But here's the truth. So much of what you've done in your life, I'm talking everything from managing a household to volunteering to even just being the go-to tech person for your family, all of that has given you some incredibly valuable skills.
Just take waiting tables, for example. At first glance, you might think that has nothing to do with a corporate job, right? But look a little closer. It teaches you to think on your feet, to communicate clearly when things are crazy busy, and to really read people. Those aren't just service skills. No way. Those are universal, professional-grade assets.
And that right there brings us to the main event, transferable skills. They are exactly what they sound like, skills you can pick up in one area of your life and just transfer over to a totally new one. Taking what you learned coaching your kid's soccer team and using it to lead a project at work. Honestly, understanding this is a complete game changer for how you see yourself and your potential.
And here is why this is so important right now. The whole world of hiring is changing. A lot of companies are moving away from focusing only on fancy degrees or specific job titles. Instead, they're using what's called skills-based hiring. That just means they want to see what you can do, not just what your resume says you've done. They're actually looking for the exact skills you've been building all this time. So the big question is, which skills are we talking about here? I mean, what are employers really hungry for? Well, while technical know-how is always going to be important, what they're really desperate for are some core human skills. So let's look at 4 of the absolute biggest ones. I like to think of them as the 4 pillars that can hold up pretty much any career.
Okay, first up, navigating ambiguity. In a world where things change so fast, the ability to thrive without a perfect step-by-step instruction manual is huge. Employers need people who don't just put up with uncertainty, but who can actually work through it, stay positive, and keep things moving forward even when the path isn't crystal clear.
Next up is emotional regulation. As we work more and more in teams, being able to create a space for people feel safe to contribute is everything. This skill is all about self-awareness. It's about knowing how you react when things get stressful and being able to manage that to support everyone around you. Being that calm, steady person in a tough spot, that is priceless. The third pillar is communication. And listen, with so many of us working remotely or in hybrid teams, this is way more than just being good at talking. Real communication skill is all about adapting. It's knowing how to tweak your message so it's perfectly clear, whether you're firing off a quick Slack message to a developer or you're presenting a huge idea to the CEO. And finally, we have problem solving. As machines and AI take over more of the routine stuff, our uniquely human ability to tackle new, complex problems becomes even more valuable. When you can explain how you think through an issue step by step, you're not just showing you can get to an answer, you're showing off your unique way of thinking and the special value you bring to a team. Okay, so you get it. These skills are a big deal. But how do you actually figure out which ones you have? A lot of us find this tricky because these skills often just feel like a part of who we are. So we're going to break it down into a super simple 3-step guide to help you start finding your own. The process is really straightforward. First, you just reflect. And I mean reflect on everything, not just your 9-to-5 jobs. Think about volunteering, any mentoring you've done, group projects, even planning a big family trip. Second, identify the skills. When you were volunteering, did you have to manage a budget or brainstorm ideas or handle logistics? Write them down. And finally, connect those skills to a job you're actually interested in.
Now this connect step, this is really where the magic happens. It's where you build that bridge from what you've done in the past to where you want to go in the future. So let's look at a couple of real-world examples to see exactly how this works.
Let's think about someone moving from an executive assistant role to being a project manager. As an EA, you're a master of managing complex schedules, coordinating tons of meetings, and talking to all sorts of stakeholders. Now, what does a project manager need? Well, they need killer planning skills and great communication. See? It's a perfect match. The titles are different, but the core skills are one and the same. Or let's take another one, a skill like teamwork. You don't need to be in an office to learn how to work with people. You learn it in the military, you learn it on a sports team, you learn it in school projects or volunteering for a cause you care about. Seriously, anytime you're working with different people to reach a common goal, you are building one of the most in-demand skills out there.
So, the most important thing to remember is this: you are not starting from zero, not even close. You are already walking around with this amazing toolkit of valuable, relevant skills that companies are looking for, built from every single experience you've had.
I really want you to let that sink in for a second. You are probably so much further along, so much more prepared for whatever's next than you've been giving yourself credit for. The real work isn't about scrambling to learn new skills, it's about learning to see, talk about, and connect the incredible skills you already have.
So, as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with a question. Sometime today, just take a moment and think back. Look at your experiences through this new lens. What skills have you been totally taking for granted? What's the first superpower you're going to uncover?